Okay, so if you're like everyone else in the world, as of January 2023, you're all over the chat GPT hype. And I'm always looking at how can things outside of our industry, outside of our bubble, can help enhance the things that we do. So basically what I mean by that is, we working on, so, especially being, M365 consultants or M365 business application architects, we're always looking at ways to enhance and thinking out of the box, right? Because now the name of the game is not using the technology. The name of the game is leveraging the technology to take business to a different level and to really enhance business. Either that be take on more market share, work more efficiently or effectively internally, keep the communication flowing internally, enhancing collaboration, enhancing productivity, XYZ. So it's numerous scenarios on what we can do with this technology. So with Chat GPT, the biggest question is how do you enhance your modern SharePoint intranet? And that's what I want to cover here. And I've been playing around with this, and actually it just sparked me today. Like, wow, that would be very, very interesting. I'm actually looking at it in a different business scenario, but for intranets, I think this is really, really going to be a game changer because as a content manager, you now have at your disposal content in a consumable and digestible way, really of an actionable outline version of it, which is perfect for intranets. I mean, standards and procedures and things like that. So, okay, so here's the scenario. Here I have a sample intranet, and we call this DJ Tech. And I really didn't really build a concept around it. But I think initially when I came up with the name DJ Tech, it was really just say, okay, this is a company that has a pool of DJs, right? It's probably an organization that hire out DJs, really globally. Let's think big. Let's kind of take this to another level. So here's an organization that have multiple DJs around the world. It really just built a platform for DJs to get hired for gigs, right? So as a DJ, what this portal is going to do is going to present to you a ton of resources, right, that you can share. Okay, that's the concept. Now, I do not have on the site yet, if you look at this intranet, I do not have yet an option for really just kind of going into the details of the DJ industry itself, right? So being a DJ, I mean, it's all about the DJ controller, which software that you use, the training, like building your skill set on different techniques and mixing and mastering and beat matching and, whatever, song selection, power lists, playlists, even the equipment, right? So as a DJ, sometimes, mobile DJs, I don't know, they come in different flavors, but some of them just bring their controller, bring their laptop, and they kind of plug into the existing system. Most of us, and I am a DJ, I used to DJ in high school and in college, all the fraternity and sorority parties. University of Cincinnati, I made a little name for myself in 95, 96. But that's neither here or there, right? But some of us, we have to haul equipment, right? So we're always looking for the best sound that's, the biggest bang for your buck. And it's really just the sound. And it's something that's manageable to travel with. So that's what you want to do. So this is what I've been doing. Let me kind of switch gears here. Let me bring up this Chat GPT, and you can kind of see my history. And what I want to do is zone in on some of those responses, which is, oh man, this is so game changing. So look at, where did I start here? Okay, what are the most popular party genres, right? And they kind of list them out, right? And it's, I mean, as you read it, it's pretty good. What are the most popular playlists? And not only does it give me the name of the playlist, but actually where I can find it. So that's another thing. So what I'm going to do is spin up Apple Music or Spotify, do a search on this playlist, and then we'll actually sample and see, like, are these really hits, or is this really party music? And then it kind of goes through all the different scenarios. Which cities have the best parties? are which are the best cities to party in, right? So obviously Vegas would be number one. That was top of mind for me. But like the ones in Spain, New Orleans, I didn't guess. I didn't see anything in Atlanta or LA or New York. So I probably could have limited this to where are the best party cities in the US or something like that, and probably got a more targeted list. How to deal with drunk partiers, right? As a DJ, I got stories on that one. But anyway, I digress. But but these are key points. So imagine that we're going to deal, and that's what I'm going to spend this on this video. We probably chop it up into multiple videos. We'll see. But what I want to do is not only just take this information and copy and paste it, which you can, right? And add tremendous value and start to build a catalog of very valuable topics that DJs can consume. And experienced DJs were like, oh yeah, I knew that. Oh, thanks for that reminder. I forgot about that. New ones can be like, oh, right? So you really kind of step through, and obviously you want to massage these. And I'm going to take the cheap way out. Like I'm going to just copy and paste, add a nice graphic, and then just put them on here. But we also need to tag it, right? Because you notice that my line of questioning, I went from playlists to how to handle drunk partiers to, as I keep scrolling, when I talk about the different types of events and how to make a client happy, how to deal with difficult clients and stuff like that. So the topics are all over, but with tagging in SharePoint, you can group these. So as you're reading one article, another article with the related tag would be a related article on that article page. And then we can create page templates for these different tags, so on and so forth. So I think this is going to be very, very interesting. So first things first, let's do this. Okay, so that's my ChatGPT. And we can go, like, I'll talk about equipment, I'll talk about subwoofers, I'll talk about placement of equipment and all this other good stuff. So now that so now that we have our articles kind of lined up, and I purposely didn't refresh that because I don't know what happens to that history. So what I'm going to do is go through and get a lot of information. And I also have something else that I found that was very, very interesting. And we'll take a look at that as we create our articles, right? Because the biggest question is, I'm not going to spoil it. Okay, so first things first. This is like the fourth time I said that. Let's create a site. Now, this is very simple, standard SharePoint intranet stuff, right? So you have your mega menu, you have your home page. Each one of these, you have your different department pages. The menu, the information architecture is spot on. It follows the best practices for IA. We don't build the navigation based on org structure. We learn from those mistakes. So that's something that we used to do 10, 15 years ago. We don't do that anymore. We know these should be situation driven, topic driven, or, some type of journey or scenario based navigation. So we have that. So we're covered for there. But what we do want to build is one dedicated for DJs. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and modify our hub navigation. And I'm gonna just go here to the very end, and I'm gonna call this the DJ portal, right? And I'm gonna just name this a label. And because we are using the mega menu, we have an opportunity to blow this out to a few levels. So I want to throw this DJ portal in between innovation and tool and resources, right? So let me just drag this up. Innovation, tool, and resources are where I want to go. I wish you can collapse these. So Microsoft, make that happen, please. To where you can, you can just collapse the first level, so that way you're not scrolling through level 2 and 3, and things get confused a little bit. All right, so here we got DJ portal, and under DJ portal, I want to establish 4 main categories. So we want to call one category the client engagement. Then we have cool articles about that. Then we want to create a section called, and notice what I'm doing, I'm making these labels, so I don't want these clickable, right? Unless I'm going to do like landing pages for each, but that's not what we're doing. So I got client engagement, make that a sublink, markets, make that a sublink, and now what we want to do, equipment. And in equipment, this is the category where You talk about the different equipment, and equipment, it could be controllers, it could be main speakers, it could be subwoofers, it could be lighting, all the fog machines. I mean, come on, y'all, let's get in a party mood. What else we got? And let's talk about music. Music is key. That's instrumental, no pun intended, and training, right? As a DJ, you should always be training. There's two things. You're always looking at the latest in technology, latest techniques, and then you always have a pulse on the music, like what's hot. And I'm not that good at it, because I think with the new way of listening, right? Because we're Spotify, we're Apple Music, we're Tidal, we're so playlist driven, and then we kind of get into these radios to where we stay in our own zone, right? To where the radio, it pushed a lot of different genres, commercials, and what was hot to you, and then you're in the car and you're like, oh, that beat sounds good. I don't listen to, like, when's the last time I listened to the radio? If it wasn't NPR, right? See, that's the thing. So it's easy to get out of tune real quick if you're not a party animal. Okay, so let's go ahead and save this all. And our DJ portal should pop up. Okay, so here's our DJ portal. Now, I did all that, and I didn't create a site. So let's go ahead and create a site. And what I'm using is the site creation feature on the hub itself. And the benefit of creating a site here within the hub, the main page of the hub, versus through the SharePoint portal, which is here, is that if I create it on the main page of the hub, it will automatically associate my new site to the hub. So, and I want this to be a communication site because I kind of want oh, spoiler alert, new feature. I don't want to do that. I was going to create a team site and then kind of change the navigation orientation to move the navigation from the left to the top. That's a really cool feature if you haven't played with it yet. But I don't want the M365 groups and all the other stuff. So let's just call this DJ Portal, right? And that's it. Just click Finish. And this guy is going to create, and I need to grab this URL and then associate it to my site. And then it's just going to be a matter of creating. Oh, should we jump start this with a template? I like the crisis management. No, let's build it from scratch because I just like the more control over it. And some of those templates, I mean, they kind of, it's smoke and mirrors, right? Like I got one template and they used like a text area web part and did like all this formatting and all this spacing. It's like, no one's going to consistently do that by hand. Like we need web parts that are going to produce magic and it's going to be consistent. It's going to be reproducible. We don't want to have like a freehand text area web part. Okay, so I really do not want to spend a lot of time on designing this. Let's do that in the next video. But what I do want to do is set up a simple IA for my articles. So how do we do that? So first thing I want to do is go into site contents, go down to the site pages library, and kind of bring in some information architecture. So the first thing I love to do is to bring in existing site columns. And there's a change because I think this is primed. Let's see, is this primed for? No, it's not. Okay, I don't want to make this difficult. This is not primed. Let me see, base columns. What's in here? Nope. Nope. Hold on, bear with me. They changed this. So let me just pause real quick and talk about this. So one of the most popular videos I have on the channel is the $1 million IA or the $1 million information architecture. And it shows how you can design to create a base content type at the tenant level, right, at the SharePoint admin level. And then you bring in like three main columns, right, like a yes, no column, a choice column, then a turn store column. And that simple structure would take you a long way. Like it's super flexible and you can get a lot of longevity out of it. Since then, what Microsoft has done, and if you're having problems with the video, this is probably the reason why. what Microsoft has done, they force you to bring down the entire base content type that has those columns associated with it. Whereas before, they would push that base content type to each and every site collection. But now you have to explicitly bring in that content type in order to use the columns. And all we want is the columns. We don't want the content type itself. We just want common columns to be on each and every site collection to feed into our enterprise architecture, information architecture. So what you have to do, and I hate I have to use this video because this is really kind of taking me out of my ChatGPT mode. I got this DJ Tech base content type. I just need to go ahead and bring this in. Then I have to jump through some hoops to make this happen, right? So here we go. Oh, wow. What is this? What is this? What are we doing? Content type publishing has changed. Use the new content type panel to view and add recently published content types. Go to site pages level, add column, and then select content type. Really? Oh. Hold on. Oh, maybe. I don't know what happened here. Okay. I don't know what happened here. So maybe hold on, let me just double check something. Page content type, edit. Yeah, these are the ones I brought in. So let's just call these just DJ categories. Yeah, so these are columns that I created, and I purposely made these generic at the site, at the SharePoint admin level, and then I'm bringing them in, and this allows me to mix and match them. The benefit of creating this base content type at the SharePoint admin level or the tenant level is that when you go to filter on certain categories, or like say for example, I have 20 site collections in the hub or outside the hub, it doesn't matter. So I have 20 site collections, and I want to bring in news articles from HR. I don't want to bring in all of HR news. I want to only bring in the news that may be flagged that says is global, so show it on the homepage. Or there may be a certain category of HR news that I want to bring in. So when you're filtering, when you set up your news web part and you start to filter on the column or the value that you want to bring in, you're consistent across the board, across all your site collections with the managed property name that has those categories. And that's the benefit. Given that, and you see this a choice column. So if I'm in the DJ portal for that category, I'm gonna have a different set of values. Or if I'm in human resources for that same category, page category or site column name, I have another set of values. So the values that I filter on are relevant to the site that I'm pulling the news from, if that makes sense. But the fact that you have standard names, one, is predictable. You can train on it, because when you train on it, you say, look for this managed property category. Now filter on the category values are available from that site. You pull in it, it just makes life so much easier. And because you can change these choice options per site, it gives you a lot of flexibility. On the flip side of that, I don't know why we're getting into this, but on the flip side of that, if you want a standard set of options, that's when you create a site column at the SharePoint admin level associated to the base content type, but is a managed property. I keep mixing them up. Is it managed property or managed metadata? It's managed metadata, meaning that the values are going to come from the term store, and then you can manage those. You can put more governance around those values because those are enterprise-wide terms, right? So, for your enterprise, whatever your nomenclature is, you can drop those into a central library, and for all your site collections, those values are the same, and those are finite and they're concrete. And to add and take away from that, there's a process to update that. So that's why we do it. Okay, so all of that to say, I'm gonna drop in my 4 categories. Okay, so I have my 4 categories. These are the same, I'm sorry, 5 categories. These are the same 5 categories that I put in the DJ portal here. So let me just save that. And what that's going to do, and notice what I did with that site column that came from the SharePoint admin or the tenant level. I gave it a name that was relevant to this particular site. It's the same internal name, right, across all site collections. And I gave it a set of values that are relevant for this particular site. So now we actually are able to rock and roll. So let me just make sure this works as expected. So now, if I go to new, post, let's just choose the blank one. And, in the next video, we'll start to create templates, right? Okay, so let's go to ChatGPT and let's see which one of these we want to start with. So let's go to this guy here, scroll to the top. All right, which DJ controllers are the most popular, right? So I'm gonna copy this in for now, but what we want to do is come up with a better optimized title, right? So I'm gonna say, which DJ controllers, I just want to make the sentence casing right here, are the most popular, right? And then notice what all this leg work I have to do. So I have to put the image in the title. I got to find an abstract image. So what I do for abstract, I do web search backgrounds, and then I leave the keyword backgrounds in there, and I do something like, what color y'all want to use? Y'all want to use, what's a good DJ color? Red, grays, blues. Let's do a dark blue. It's more corporate, isn't it? All right, so let me do an abstract dark blue. Ooh, this is funky. I don't know how that'll look with title on top of it. So usually for these, so I try to do something that's really dark and consistent, even though I may have a little gradient inside of it. I want it dark and consistent. I would just like dark, all the way through, just so that it's not competing with the title. All right, so there my title pops. I'm okay with leaving my name up there for now. And basically all I'm gonna do, zing, uh-oh, zing, zing. And now what I probably would do, okay, so there's the way I want to format this, right? Let's get full screen. I actually want to make this a 1/3 right. And I want to put another news web part here. And this is where I wanted to put my related news, right? So here I'm going to just say related news. And for this, let's just do list format. Let's do 6 at a time. We can play around with this. Show number of views is not important. Show author is not important. Side by side. How does that look? Okay. I think this is fine, and it's going to be this site. But we want to filter on. So go to page properties, and again, because I'm using this site, it doesn't use the manage properties, right? Manage properties are anytime that you have to use search. And search is when you start selecting news from different sites. But the fact that you say this site is going to say, oh, okay, I don't need to use search. I'm going to just do a simple filter based on the library that's in the same site. And when you do a simple filter, your property dropdown becomes the custom site column names that you have on that site pages library. So here I got DJ categories. And this is even convenient because now it gives me clear choices of what to choose from, whereas the other one you have to be spot on and know the exact value that you want to filter on. Now this is going to be equipment, so this is going to be DJ controller, so that's going to be equipment. So this related news is going to filter on other equipment, right, related to this. And But now I need to tag this page in particular. So I go to page details and tag it where in the equipment. But notice how this is why templates are so super important. So there was an extra step to bring in this web part. We don't want to do that each and every article, right? There's an extra step to filter the web part. There's an extra step to filter or tag this particular page and to bring in the abstract background and da. So we definitely want these things to be consistent. And that's why once we get this decorated, we can then go and create this as a template, and all that tagging will be for us. And we'll save this as our equipment template. Make sense? All right. So here, I'm going to say the most popular is this one. Well, that's what they said. And go to page details. I want my thumbnail to show this controller. So let me do a web search. Drop that bad boy in there. And let's get a nice clean photo of that bad boy. And let's make, oh, there we go. Now we got some quality stuff. Yeah, that's bad right there. That's nice. All right, so that's going to drop in. And I really want to bring that image in somewhere. How can I bring that image in? Is this going to allow me to wrap? I know this has some new features. Can I wrap text in here? I mean, wrap an image in here? Let's see. Can I do insert image? Web search. Let's search on that one again. But this time we'll pick a different one. Let's take the safety belts off. Look at everything. Let's find another photo of it here. That's a nice one. I get all giddy when I see this stuff. All right, so can I wrap this though? That's the biggest question. Like, I want this to go here. There we go. It's not perfect though. Interesting. I actually don't like that. It looks like publisher. What was that weird application that you use? And it made like newsletters and stuff like that, and they came out. I mean, back then it was like super cool, but now it's like super cheesy, and that's what's starting to feel like. Like, I think I want a different. I feel like I paint myself in the corner. Oh, I know what I'm missing. The vertical section. The vertical section will always save the day. The vertical section. Deshaun, how did you forget about the vertical section? This is exactly what we do. All right, so let's get rid of this, right? And this is just going to make this look so much better. And now I will bring in a separate image web part and search on that controller model and take the safety belts off and then scroll and get a really nice engaging photo. Something like this. Something like this. All right. Then you pop that bad boy in. Okay. So now we're rocking and rolling. And then what you can do, I honestly don't want to like format like, I really don't want to format anything. Like, I really just want to set this up like copy and paste, boom, 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 go. All right. Okay. So let me save this as a draft because we made a ton of changes and I really don't want to lose anything. Now, saved as a draft, this is actually going to look fantastic. And this is going to be our template, right? So now what I want to do before I change, so now what I want to do, copy this news post. Nope. I think you have to be in edit mode. And save us a template. And then we're going to call this and take my name out of there because I don't want to be part of every template. Let's just call this the equipment. Template sounds redundant, right? So just call this the equipment. Okay, so everything's tagged. Related news has popped in. Bump. Save us a template. All right, and now let's go back to the page. How do I get to the page? Kind of fell off the cliff there a little bit. Where's my article? Boom, boom, boom. Where's my article? Interesting. No, I got that. I was looking for the article I was playing with. That's in draft mode. All right, let's go to site pages. Yeah. That's interesting that didn't show up in the news web part. I mean, even in draft mode, I was thinking that, okay, maybe not. All right, so we're in draft mode. I think this is okay. I can't see this, right? So I'm kind of concerned with that, like how that's going to look. But maybe we'll create 4 or 5 articles and then we'll play around with it. Now, here's the other key thing. The other key thing is I can take this title, go to ChatGPT, best headline for, and then paste that in. And let this bad boy do its thing. Top of the line most, you see that? And now I can go through here and say, okay, which one of these I want to be the headline of my article. The go-to choice, I like that. All right. If you would just be still so I can copy and paste this. There we go. So we grab it here. We go here. Edit this. Boom. Post news. Boom. Okay. So now we go home. And there we are. Right? I'm not gonna design this homepage yet, but that's it. So now we can crank, right? So now we just go back through, and I have a cheat sheet here, right? I just sat here and brainstorm. There's 2 ways you can go about this, and this is when I'm learning just using ChatGPT. There's 2 ways. First thing you can do is just brainstorm on all the questions you want to ask and kind of get the body of it. But then you can kind of go, you can get nested and say, okay, when it comes up with an option, you may read it and say, oh, tell me more. And then you do another search based on the, some information on the results that it gives you. And that's how you do it. So what I'm going to do now is just go through, create more articles for equipment, create some articles for playlists, create some articles for clients, and boom, 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 and tag them as such, create templates for each one of those main categories, and we're rocking and rolling. So really in a matter of the time that we spend with coming up with good content, and that's why I think this is perfect for the intranet, because we're not trying to create something for the internet and the blog posts and things like that. We're really just trying to say, okay, for my colleagues, for my peers here in the organization or in my department, this can be all in the department. It doesn't have to be public to other people in the org. This can be your inner department site that only people in your department can see it. These are great pointers. I mean, it's valuable information. So, all right, let me crank and then we'll come back. Okay, so I dropped in a few articles with different categories and things along those lines. So if we kind of go through here, this is one. So a couple of things that I made since the last, why I had the video paused. I did add in this tag, and that's just going to coincide with the selected category for this particular article. So this is going to be engage, and then this is the filter for all the other client engagement articles. So that way the related news will be related to the actual metadata here. So that was one change I made. The other one is I went through for the different categories. You would notice that when I'm using the music tag, I was trying to be uniform with the background. So all music tag articles would have like this black background, where you saw the other one with client engagement, it had this green background. And then if I find one with music, it would have, I'm sorry, not music, equipment was the other one, right? So if I go into see all, I think that was the first one. So if we had this one with equipment, it has the navy blue, the dark background. I struggle with this text here. I definitely want to add spacing in between these bullet points, and you will see that added for some of the articles that I created. Okay, so basically that's how you do it. And then each one of these categories have a template. I don't think I was consistent with making a template, because outside of using a template, you can also go to an article that you want to duplicate and say copy this news, and it has the same impact as the template. So I think I was using that most of the time. This is what it looks like when I have spaces in between. Definitely a lot readable than not having spaces. And this is interesting here. So more than just being adding value by using ChatGPT to give you some real artificial intelligence or intelligence around a topic, right? I went ahead and tested this out. So I went to Apple Music and found the playlist for Party Pop, found the playlist for today's hits and the throwback, and I just grabbed the embed code and embedded them here. So an embed code is like the new iframe, but it's more responsive, and you can make it adapt to your site, so on and so forth. So with that, let's see, right? Hopefully you can hear this. Let me see if I can pull this off, because I want to play this, and I only could play a small sample, right? Because this will be posted on YouTube, and I don't want to fire or flag any copyright infringement, artificial intelligent content scrubbers. So I'm only gonna be able to play a few seconds of this, but let me see. System sound. Hopefully this works. I don't know if this is going to be recorded. I think the system sound will be recorded. So okay, so here it is for Party Pop. Let's just see. Nice up the beat. Yeah. And the thing with these, right, is that you will, as a DJ, normally you don't bring a track in at the very beginning unless it is significant to that track. Like if there's like a famous intro or something like that, and usually you'll play it over something that's playing, because the key with DJing is to minimize the dead spots. And that's why when you have to fade into the other one, the beat match is so important, because you need to go from one song, one track, seamlessly into the other track, keep the crowd going, and then. So these have it, right? I'm not that familiar with this particular genre, but just the beat, the tempo, is spot on. Okay, so let's try today's top hits. So, yep. Okay, I kind of lost the crowd with this one. This got to pick up. Okay, I probably wouldn't play Wildfire. That one would not make the cut. Yeah, I think we're losing it. That's a popular one. That's a real popular one. And usually, like anything that's like hip hop with that hard bass, that's yeah. So yeah, that one. Oh no, it's close. It's close. So let's look at Throwback Party. Let's see if ChatGPT really has this down as far as good playlists. Yep, that's a good one. Yep, that's a popular one. Yep, that's a pop. Probably this is really hot. Yeah, that's a party jumper right there. I don't know. It's close. This one, even though it's like slow tempo, there's a technique where you can sneak that in, and then you just drop them with some hard from there. So I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of torn, but it's close. It's close. It's close. Anyway, so okay, so let's talk about embedding those embed codes, right? So to embed the embed code, basically what I have here is Apple Music, and basically just went through. Let me just grab one. Let's put one together here. So let's do the summer party. So with the summer party, you gotta have Jazzy Jeff. Drum roll, please. So let's do summer party. This one, summer vibes. And basically, I'm gonna randomly select the first one. So if I want this one, I will go down to share, grab the embed code, and then basically come over here and then drop it in. Now, obviously, I want this uniform because there was some decision making to give this a H2 treatment and then drop this in and stuff like that. So instead of guessing and trying to figure out like, okay, is it H1, is it H2, you just copy this. That's going to give you a handle of that. Drag it here because basically I'm going to create another row with these guys, and then I'm going to do the same with the embed code. Just grab a copy there, and then hopefully you guys get this hand to see this. This might get banned. I don't know. All right, so let's go party pop, and basically what I'm doing now is we did summer party. Sorry, I want to say summertime so bad. So then you kind of drop that in there, and then when it comes to the embed code, go back to Apple Music, grab this embed code, share, copy embed code here, go to the web part. Okay, let's make sure I'm in the right thing. Hold on. All right, and then just select all and replace that. Now, when the first time when I replaced that, I got an error. It just said that, you know, this site was not authorized to bring that in yet. And to bring those in, and you probably know this by now because you're going to run, like if you're doing embed codes outside of some of the most popular embedded media like YouTube or Twitter, you may run into an issue. And if you do that, if you're a site, I think you have to be site collection admin, more than just site owner. So if you're site collection admin, you can go to site information, go to view all site settings, and basically the site settings at the site collection level, look under the site collection admin section, and it's very obscure of where this setting is because it's under HTML field security, which has nothing to do with embed codes, right? Somehow they tie it together. But you go into the HTML field security, and it would, I hate to tell, it will actually give you this snippet right here, and this is like the subdomain of the URLs that is kind of like whitelisting to allow you to bring them in. It will, when it gives you the error that says, you know, is this embed code is not authorized, please have your admin insert this, and it has it on single ticks. Remove those single ticks and then drop that in here. Click the add button, click OK. Go back to your page, hit refresh, and then you will be able to embed that. So ChatGPT, game changer? Leave it in the chat. Let me know what you think. I think I'm going to do a part 2 of this because I want to spruce up that homepage, and then we can do some other fancy things with our tags. But let me know what you think. What do you think about the ChatGPT? Have you played with it yet? Definitely sign up. Check it out. I think it's very, very interesting. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video.